Chapter 3 is looking at alcohol and other drugs, and the term drug pharmacologically is a drug or any substance other than food that alters the structure or the functioning of a living organism when it enters into the bloodstream. As far as drug use and abuse around the world, you see from this graph that cannabis is the most widely used drug, with amphetamines being number 2, cocaine number 3, and opiates being number 4. The prevalence of drug use varies by country and regions. The Netherlands, excuse me, has officially treated the use of drugs like marijuana, hashish, and heroin as a health issue rather than a crime issue since the 1970s. Drug use didn't increase until the advent of what we call cannabis cafes in the 1990s. In the Netherlands, these coffee shops offer small amounts of marijuana for personal use, in hopes that they may prevent casual drug users from coming into contact with drug dealers. Now, sociologically, the term drug refers to any chemical substance that has a direct effect on the user's physical, psychological, and/or intellectual functioning. It has the potential to be abused. It has adverse consequences for the individual and/or society. Now, we want to briefly go over some frequently used legal drugs. Alcohol does tend to be the drug of choice in the United States. It does remain the most widely used and abused drug in the United States. Chances on or of becoming alcohol dependent, certainly the younger the age of onset, there is a 40% chance of becoming dependent on alcohol if drinking starts before the age of 13. Also, if you haven't parents that are alcoholic or drink and have a positive attitude toward drinking, then an individual's chances of becoming an alcohol dependent is even greater. Tobacco. Evidence first linked tobacco to lung cancer in 1859. But there have been no federal claims, or there were no federal claims until 1989. Tobacco is one of the most widely used drugs in the United States. By 2030, tobacco-related diseases will be the number cause of death worldwide, killing 1 out of every 6 people in the world. Now, looking at the frequently used illegal drugs, more than 21.7 million people in the United States, and I want to say that 8.7% of those are age 12 and under, currently use illegal drugs. Marijuana is the most commonly used and trafficked illicit drug in the world. 129 to 191 million people use marijuana worldwide, representing 2.9 to 4.3% of the adult population. And once again, marijuana is the most dominant illicit drug in North America. Cocaine is classified as a stimulant. It produces feelings of excitement, alertness, and euphoria. It is made from the coca plant, and it's been used for thousands of years. The coca leaves were in the original formula for Coca-Cola until it was outlawed in 1914 in response to heavy cocaine use by the urban blacks, poor whites, and criminals. Make sure you know that cocaine was an active ingredient in Coca-Cola until 1906, when it was replaced by another drug, which is caffeine. Methamphetamine is a central nervous system stimulant. It's highly addictive. It has been linked to violent behavior. Although the drug has only recently become popular, it's not used. They say that the use of amphetamines is low and it's declining, but the current use by the 8th, 10th, and 12th graders is at 2.2%. Some other illegal drugs, club drugs, which is a general term for illicit, often synthetic drugs, commonly used at nightclubs or raves. Ecstasy is the most popular of the club drugs. They say that over 10.5 million people aged 15 to 64 worldwide use ecstasy. 5.5% of Americans aged 12 and older report using it at least once. And ecstasy can certainly cause long-term permanent brain damage. Ketamine, LSD produce visual effects when ingested. The use of both of these are decreasing in the United States. GHB, Rohypnol are often called date rape drugs because of their use in rendering victims incapable of resisting sexual assaults. Heroin is a highly addictive analgesic or painkiller. It is the most commonly abused opiate drug. Most heroin does come from the poppy fields of Afghanistan. Usage in the United States is rapidly increasing due to easy availability, marketing, and low cost. Bath salts is one of the newest designer drugs. It increases or induces paranoia, rapid heart rate, hallucinogens, suicidal thoughts, and it has been banned in 28 states. Psychotherapeutic drugs, this is non-medical use of any prescription pain reliever, stimulant, sedative, tranquilizer. More than 7 million people, 2.8% of Americans over the age of 12, report current use of a psychotherapeutic drug for non-medical purposes. There has been a recent increase in the use of pain-relieving synthetic opioids such as codeine and Oxycontin, especially among young people. Inhalants act on the central nervous system, with users reporting a psychoactive, mind-altering effect. Now, looking at some of the societal consequences of drug use and abuse, as far as family costs, there is an estimated 1 in 10 United States children that live with a parent in need of drug or alcohol treatment. Alcohol abuse is the most common trait associated with wife abuse. 27% of victims report that the offender was involved with drugs and alcohol. Sociologists disagree whether drugs cause criminal or criminal activity that leads to drug use. Further, some criminal offenses are defined by drug use, such as possession or driving while intoxicated. And certainly driving while intoxicated is one of the most common and dangerous drug-related crimes. Now, class drug use and crime may be linked because both are related to poverty. As far as the economic cost, the total cost of substance abuse and addiction in the United States is estimated at $467.7 billion. Only 1.9% went to prevention. Physical and mental health costs. Cigarette smoking is the leading preventable cause of disease and deaths in the world. Tobacco kills 5.4 million annually worldwide. It is known to be the leading burden of disease. Alcohol abuse causes 2.5 million deaths worldwide annually and 80,000 in the United States. Heavy alcohol and drug use are associated with negative consequences for mental health, including increased depression. Maternal prenatal alcohol use is associated with one of the leading preventable causes of birth defects and developmental disabilities in children, such as fetal alcohol syndrome. It's characterized by serious physical and mental handicaps, including low birth weight, facial deformities, mental retardation, and hearing and vision problems. The cost of drug use on the environment, although not usually considered, the production of illegal drugs does take a considerable toll on the environment, such as deforestation, contaminated water, and fish and wildlife concerns.